He is the head coach of football here in Southern California, the University of Southern California. He is Clay Helton here on the Rich Eisen Show. Thanks for holding, Clay. We appreciate the time, Coach.
No, thanks, Rich. Thanks for having me, buddy.
What's going on in your world right now? What's at the top of your to-do list as a head coach in this day and age?
Well, I've got 3 children by birth. I've got 110 adopted sons that are scattered from Connecticut all the way to Hawaii. So
right.
One is their health and safety, priority one, and then 2, just keeping them in routine. Through this, we're over 60 days now, and to be able to keep them in routine, whether it's their health and wellness, whether it's their academics, whether it's their strength and conditioning, their nutrition, and just keeping their mind engaged in football is a daylight till dark process. And I've just approached it just like I said, these are my adopted sons. So I might as well have this phone and iPad duct taped to my head.
I bet. So you are doing video conferencing, just like I guess what we're hearing a lot of NFL teams are doing? Is that what you're up to?
Yeah. The Zoom product and FaceTime has been huge in this whole process. Just to be able to see kids face to face or parents face to face, to be able to answer questions for them, to be able to calm fears, to be able to give them information, but 2, again, to keep them in routine. The NCAA was great to us. They allowed us 8 hours of engagement football-wise with our student athletes. So, we're having anywhere from unit meetings, the ability to go team meetings, unit meetings, position meetings, to continue to grow as players and to continue to engage their minds. And then using our strength and conditioning coaches as consultants, being able to give these kids some equipment, strength bands, medicine balls, jump ropes, just so they can work safely at home and be able to give them ideas of what they can do at home in a safe environment.
Well, then how do you, in this day and age, though, with just Zoom, evaluate positions and, crucially, obviously, the quarterback spot? How do you do something like that?
Yeah, it's really hard until we get back together, which hopefully, the way everything's trending is looking like it's coming about. It's really hard. I mean, right now you're looking at the mental part of the game, and really our position coaches, I have to commend them, are doing a tremendous job of being able to really grow their mind. And the other aspect of this is just trying to keep kids in physical shape and nutritional shape. And our university has been great. We're supplying our kids additional meals, pre-prep meals, and nutrition packets, muscle milks. So when they go home and they get away from that training table, that they're actually able to get that calorie intake that they normally would have. So it's all been about keeping kids in routine and trying to give them the services that they need to stay in routine.
Clay Helton here on the Rich Eisen Show. When was the last time you talked to TJ Daniels, Coach? JT Daniels. When was the last time you spoke to him? I transposed there.
JT and I talk every week, and working with his family as he works through the process. JT's such a great kid and a great player, and came to us in the spring and said, "Coach, I'd like to evaluate all my options for 2020. USC is one of those options, and that door is being left open for him." I'd been through a process like this last year with Matt Fink and worked through that process with him, provided an open door for him to be back. We'd love to have JT on our team, but he's got a personal decision that he's going to make and make the best decision for himself. And I always believe, you work with kids. If you treat them like your adopted sons and be able to work through the process with them, sometimes it works out, sometimes they move on, but you're always there for them. So between myself and JT, we talk each and every week.
So when do you have to make a decision on this front? Or when do you need a decision from him? Because I know it's just so difficult, man. I mean, you got enough going on, as you point out, with the number of kids you have biologically and adopted, and when this is going to actually happen. But you also need to plan as if this is definitely happening,
Yeah, I'm getting constant communication from him, but that door will always be left open for JT. He's a member of our family. When I sign a kid and he does things the right way like JT has, he's been a great teammate, a great student, a great family member to our organization. He's always going to be granted had that opportunity. Now, obviously, we'll look for other options as they come available, but JT is always welcome at USC.
Clay Helton here on the Rich Eisen Show. You said that's trending in the direction of you being able to get these kids on campus and start practicing, I imagine, or something of the like. What's giving you the indication we're trending in that direction?
Well, a couple things. The NCAA came out and obviously is now allowing volunteer workouts on campus across the country. It's going to be up to conferences, it's going to be up to universities based on where they are geographically, their population, what's going on with the virus in their situation. But it was great to hear Governor Newsom come out the other day and be able to say he sees pro sports getting ready to open back up in June. And our university is working tirelessly, as well as all universities across the country are working tirelessly to put safety measures in place to be able to bring students back when it is healthy and safe, and those safety measures are in place. So, I'm very appreciative to Dr. Carol Folt and the Mike Bone. I mean, they're working daylight till dark to put these measures in place that will allow our not only our student athletes but students to come back when it's safe. And but right now there's a lot of positive energy out there that this thing is trending in the right direction. We're very optimistic about the fall season, and I think we're going to get even more clarity as the weeks progress.
Well, I spoke to the head coach of Notre Dame football, who you see across the field every year, and Brian Kelly. He was talking about they're still working on protocols to deliver to parents to say this is what we're going to do when your kids are put on a plane from, I guess, spots, as you point out, from Connecticut all the way to Hawaii. Where are you on that front?
So we're working through those safety measures and those protocols, and they're basically would be broken up in phases, and it's also going to, Rich, each place is different because you're going to have to follow the directives of government leadership to local and state and federal. So I think it's really based on where you are at currently with the virus, what geographic you are in. Are you a hot spot or not? Where are you as far as your local and state government? So everybody's going to be different. Meanwhile, universities are working as hard as they can to be able to put those procedures and those safety measures in place, so when we are granted those opportunities to come back onto campus, that we are prepared and ready to have our students back.
Have you become an expert in public health, Clay? In a way that you never thought you'd have to?
Very much so. And just looking at it from a parent's eyes, and to be honest with you, and just like I said, I mean, I truly believe I've got 110 adopted sons, and it's not about the X's and O's right now. Those will come into place when it's time to play a game somewhere down the future. It's more about, making sure that we've provided a safe and healthy environment for them to be able to function in, and that's been my primary worry, and I know our university's primary worry moving forward here. And usually football coaches, I think, we're always worried about points and stopping people in the next game, but now it is about those safety measures and being able to, whether it's meet, practice, be together with having 110 men that are on a football team together, and how you get that done. And so that's been more the conversations rather than preparing for maybe a game come September or October or November, whenever it might be.
Well, what about the first game starting in January? Are you like literally pushing this season all the way? We're hearing about how the loss of revenue would be so catastrophic if there's no football season, just pushing it into the spring. Are you hearing that or preparing for that too right now?
Well, I think we're really optimistic, Rich, to be honest with you, about having a 2020 football season. I don't know exactly what the start date be or what the structure is, but every conversation that I've had, leadership has done. The NCAA leadership, as well as the commissioners and their leadership per each conference, is really working diligently to put together a ton of different structures to be able, from different start dates to different ways the season may run. And we'll see how this goes. I think we're going to have a lot more clarity here in about 6 weeks. Is my judgment.
Okay.
Hopefully, everything keeps trending in the right direction. But I think all of us are really optimistic to be able to have this fall season, and we've got our fingers crossed. We're excited about having the opportunity to be a part of an exciting Alabama game, a great rivalry game like Notre Dame, a 9-game conference schedule, battling for a conference championship and a national title. So we are optimistic in that, and our NCAA leadership and university leadership and conference leadership will determine, where we get to, what that start date is and what that structure is. And for coaches, we're going to focus on taking care of our football team, making sure that they're healthy, they're safe, and they're prepared.
Coach, appreciate the time. Have a great, safe weekend, and we'll catch you down the line, hopefully, with your timing about 4-6 weeks from now, talking about a playing season and a health protocol that we can all follow.
Man, that would be great. Thank you, Rich. Thank you for the time.
You got it. That's Clay Helton, USC football head coach. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.